just breathe. You know, where I came from, I haven't really gone so far deep into where I come from and to how I've evolved into this being that I am today. See, I've went through a lot, but today I'm going to go over my spiritual background. And so I was raised as, some people would say, non-denominational Christianity. And so we pretty much we can go to church dressed like this with a shirt on. We don't have to get all prepped up and dress all fancy and wear a tie and all that stuff. So it's really more easygoing. And so thankfully, growing up in that type of setting was a lot easier for me than it was for a lot of other people, because they were forced to wear suit and tie. They were forced to listen to the pastor. They were forced to go to church. Whereas me, I actually had a choice. My mom gave me a choice to choose if I would like to go. And sometimes I choose to go, sometimes I would choose not to go. And so for me, that was a blessing. And so fast forward later on down the line, after I graduated high school, I got into massage therapy. And getting into massage therapy really wasn't something that I ever thought I would do. Really what happened was, in high school, I never tried. And I always would copy other people's paperwork and, just not really try in high school. And so after high school, I wanted to put forth effort. And there was a point in time where I tried going to get a job. I tried going to school. I tried so many different things, and it just wasn't for me. And so one day my aunt, she was taking me to work, and she told me, she's like, "Hey, Franny, I have this school that I'm going to go to. It's a trade school. And with this school, they have different things. But no matter what it is, if you sign up for it, it's like you can prove to yourself that you could finish something. You just look at the light at the end of the tunnel." And that's really before I could even choose what I wanted to do. When she told me that, I was like, I'm doing it. No matter what it is, I'm going to sign up, because I know that I'm capable, but I want to prove to myself that I'm capable. I want to prove to others that I'm capable. And so around that time, I was being forced to try and join the Navy, try and join the Army, and all kinds of stuff. My grandfather really was very traditional Filipino, and so he really wanted us to, if we weren't going to school, then military. And I was way against it. So I did not join the military. And thankfully, I ended up becoming a massage therapist. So I got into school and I really felt the vibe of the atmosphere of the spa. And just my teacher was very open and very informational, teaching us things about food and what to eat and what not to eat, like high fructose corn syrup. And just staying more clean and being aware of what you're eating and what you're putting in your body. And so as I become more aware of what I'm putting in myself and what I'm learning about my body and learning to connect, because I've never learned to connect with my body. When I was aware of that, he brought that to my attention, and I was able to say, hey, I have a choice of what I can put in my body. And so that made it really easy for me to be able to just be aware of what's going on around me. It went from food to what food I'm putting in my body, to what drinks I'm putting in my body, to what music I'm putting into my body, to what things I'm looking at. And so I became more aware of what is going inside of me. And I was like, okay, well, maybe that's why I feel so much confusion going on, because there was a lot of confusion at the time. And so being a massage therapist, working with all kinds of people from different faiths, different religions, different belief systems, it's given me the ability to really have compassion and to really see things from a different perspective, from a different angle. Because I can say, hey, look, there's a car over there, and another person could see that car, but looking at it from a different perspective, they see a side of a car that I can't see. And so being open to other people's religions and their beliefs, it made me realize how much alike we are. And so I started asking questions within myself, like, God, I know that you say that Jesus is the way, and I understand that, but is it my job to make them believe what I believe? It's not. It's not my job to make them believe what I believe. And so I just started to be open and asking questions and checking out new things. I became part of a ministry. Well, first I went to court, not court. I went to church for a long time. Like I would go religiously. I go Wednesdays, I go Fridays, I go Sundays, and I'd even go by myself because I really wanted to grow in a connection with God, because I just always felt like there's something deep about my purpose here on earth, and I really just want to fulfill it. And so I go to church, going through the Bible studies, going through the youth groups, and going to the Sunday services, and it was cool. I really felt the community, the great community that it built, and the fellowship, and the love, and um, but there were just some things that just kind of like didn't work well with me. Like I had to stop doing all kind of things. I had to stop smoking weed. I had to stop, uh, you know, just maybe it was the conviction within myself, but I kept asking God to, if He wants me to stop, to take it away. And to this day, I still haven't gotten that answer. But to go back a little bit, there was an experience that I had witnessed where this pastor, he by the name of Tim Story, he went to Cornerstone Church, and he actually asked a few people to stand up. It was on a Wednesday service. He asked a few people to stand up and say, "Who needs healing?" and da 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 da. And so, being a massage therapist, I'm like really like, wow, he's about to, God is about to heal this person. And so 3 people stand up. He walks over to them. One had like a leg problem. He was able to walk, and another one had a back problem. Another one had like a headache or something. And I was like, dang, that's cool. God is really doing good things through this church. And so I kept going, and then I went on the same Sunday of that week. I went on the Wednesday, and on the Sunday, the same pastor was there, and he had people stand up. Anybody needs healing, and so the 3 people that stood up were the same 3 people that stood up on the Wednesday, and so that right there was a red flag in my head, like, boo, oh my gosh, are you serious? I know I'm not the only person that's seen this, and so it made me question, like, not God, but it made me question the church. And so I went to one of the leaders, and he pretty much didn't even really, like, I told him, and he just didn't believe that it happened. And so for me, I was like, so I'm seeing stuff, I'm lying? Okay, I guess, and so I really honestly, I went for a little bit longer, but then I just couldn't deal with, the non-authenticity of it, because I felt like I was being fake. And so fast forward, I ended up joining a ministry called the Soldiers of Christ, where it's like soul Jahs of Christ. My soul is with Jah, and I'm of Christ. And it was a lot more open, and it was really cool because we would have services outside. We would have Bible studies, and we would have conference calls, and it was a really good community, just to building like a brother connection of people who were real, people that had tattoos, that wore do-rags, that smoked and drank, but still like was not afraid to acknowledge that they love God. And so that was really cool for me, because it showed me openness and the freedom of God. And so continue to fast forward, I got really involved with the ministry, really involved. Like I was preaching, I was going out on Christ walks and going out and praying for people, and really it was an amazing experience, because what it really had taught me was spiritual warfare and how to battle the thoughts of our mind. And so being in a massage room, you're in a room by yourself with another person, and they're not always talking, and so you're in your head dealing with certain thoughts that come left and right. Oh, I gotta do this later, and then so at that time I was like, I need to control my thoughts, like what's going on here. And so it was perfect, because the ministry Soldiers of Christ came around, where then I learned how to battle my thoughts, to putting my thoughts into captivity, into the obedience of Christ, which pretty much means like being aware of your thoughts, knowing what thoughts are of God and what thoughts are not. And so what thoughts are positive, what thoughts are negative. And so with that ministry, I got really involved and really deep, and it really blessed me a whole lot. I got baptized again. I'll have Pastor AOG come just on the podcast or on this YouTube channel or whatever, so that way he can express to you what their ministry is about, and it's really amazing. But at the time, maybe like a few years in, there was a point in time where I felt like I wasn't being authentically myself. I started seeing qualities of the other soldiers on me that wasn't really who I was. And so it was kind of a point where I started to act like who I wasn't. And it was going on for a while, and I was struggling within myself, like, because I was still not on the fence, but I was still like so open to like metaphysics and quantum physics and different religions and all these things, but still having my firm foundation in Jesus. It was really started to get kind of confusing for me, because I was acting one way but still was like reading other things, and so I decided to leave the ministry and to ask God, okay, what is it that you want me to do? And so fast forward into now, what I really truly believe is that God wants me to help to bridge the gap between religions. So pretty much just reconnecting his children with him, or it, or whatever words that you decide to choose. Because me, I use God, I use certain words that Christian people use or whatever, but really what it is, they're just words. They're just forms of energy that describe the energy of our source or our God or the creator or the higher power or whatever it is that you choose to say. Like I said, I choose God because that's what my conditioning is. But now I feel like my purpose is to help reconnect the children back to the source, whether it's through my words, through what I say, through what I present, or through my hands and through my healing and through the techniques or whatever technology I've used to get me to reconnect. And so that's what these next upcoming episodes of the podcast are going to be about, is how to connect with your mind, your body, and your soul and your spirit, which is soul and your spirit is the same thing. But that's what I'm here for. I feel like I've got the best of all these different worlds, and I'm here to just take my experience and bring them together and to help whoever else needs it, because I know I'm not the only one. And there's many people out there that have reached out to me and told me that I've helped them, but they've been the ones that helped me. Like I have Vic. He used to be a pastor for 12 years, and he baptized me back when I was like 19 years old or 20 years old. And I always had looked up to him, and he had some things that happened in his experience where it wasn't so much what other people would have wanted it to be, but through his experience, he's become the best version of himself, and he's becoming the best version of himself. And there's many people like that I want to bring onto this, and just to share with you that there are people that go through the same things, and we can relate. But together, alone I can't do it, but together we can really make a difference. And so look forward to interviews with people who have similar mindsets, also different mindsets, because I want to bring openness into this channel, like not just my perspective, not just their perspective, but everyone will be able to get a different feel for what this whole experience is about, because there's not one person that everybody agrees with. End of this video with saying thank you for watching. Thank you for if you've been watching me for a while, thank you for being with me for this long, because you're the reason why I do this. If I can just touch one person, it really, really helps me out, because even expressing all these words, it lifts a huge burden off my chest. And so if there's things that you want to express, start a podcast. Start expressing yourself on your Instagram. Start expressing yourself anywhere. Record yourself and listen to it. Just get it out, so that way you can get these energies out, so they're not just balled in and bunched up into your muscles. So there's lots of good things to come ahead. Stay tuned, stay prepared, and man, many blessings to you. Please, if you think that this video will help anybody, like, share it. Please subscribe. Check out my Instagram. My Instagram is @justfraniam, @justfraniam. So if you roll with me, leave a comment. If you don't know me, leave a comment. If you want to get to know me, leave a comment. Bless you guys. You guys have a blessed day. And don't forget to breathe, y'all. Peace.